it's Bev Code from the Rubber Buggy. I am going to be sharing tips on making and shaping paper Heartfelt creation flowers. Starting with both a flower stamp and die set that match, you will be stamping and die cutting as many as you are going to need. They will also all be colored the same to form your flowers. You will shade from the outer edges to the center and will be softening the lighter shades to the center and even leaving some white spots. The center on these is also shaded slightly in the greens. That is optional, but it looks great. The first row has 2 flowers on the bottom that I have inked on both sides because that will be the bud flower. You will be shaping and forming the top white ones, which is the back side, and on the bud flower on the bottom, you will be shaping on this solid section you see because the stamping is on the other side. The stamping will then show when you've made the bud. For all the regular shaped flowers that are not budded, you will be turning them all over and you will be shaping from the wrong side. With your flowers flipped up or down ready for styling, you will be using a mini mister and applying a light spray of water to help the forming of the flower. You will need a stylus, and if you own the Shaping Deluxe kit from Heartfelt Creations. Otherwise, as you can see, I'm using a softer piece of foam from just some packaging and whatever from my crafting. The stylus is firmly pushed into the foam, and as you can see, the harder and firmer that you push down, the curling from the outer edges of the leaves to the inside start taking shape. Be careful just not to do anything so strong that it starts ripping. On the flowers I'm working on right now, you can see they have a finer, thinner edge, so you have to just be a little more careful. Do more of a pressure and rolling and just not so much rubbing. You will be doing each layer of the flowers basically the same, and you will notice that, like I said, the ones I'm working on right now are the ones that I did inking on double-sided, and the solid backside is the pieces that will be shaped differently to form the bud section of our flower. Like I said, take your time and just firmly push and roll and use the strength into the foam to give you the amount of curl that you are looking for. Now that we have all the pieces ready, we will start to layer and put them together. Starting with the smallest of the bud pieces, we are going to add glue and put it to the inside and outside of the upper petals. When we hold it pinched firmly together, then it should contain the bud to stay very small and very tight. We'll set down the first bud and let it dry. We will then be taking the second layer and we will be putting it inside the second piece of the bud. These are the 2, like I said, that we colored on both sides so that the inside and outside of the bud can be seen and have fabulous color. This outer piece you don't want to have stuck too closely to the bud, just enough that it will hold it and keep it firm. The next 2 layers we will be forming just slightly different. We will be flattening them out and we will be firmly putting them down and through the center so that the shaping now pops the leaves up and we have the deep indentation. This valley is where we will be setting in the previously done 2 bud pieces so that it fills the inside of the flower. You will do layer number 1 and then you will also add layer number 2 to the outer edges. It is your option to either use 2, 3, or 4 or 5 layers. You will be experimenting and find what you like the best, and then it makes creating much easier. Just remember, the thicker it is, the worse it is to put into an envelope, and the more expensive it is for mailing. Sometimes you have to make custom envelopes for the thickness of your flowers. When doing your layers, the one thing to watch is try and stagger and spin the petals that they are opposite and in between each other as you go from layer to layer. Gives more depth and perception of the petals and the layers when you stagger them. Lastly, when all the petals are together, we are then going to add some glitter. I used my beacon glue and splattered and touched the petals and then sprinkled with Lawn Fawn chunky glitter. Wanted to thank you for joining me while creating these fabulous molded flowers using Heartfelt Creation products. Be sure to check the store for these and many other products.